Imagine waking up one morning, your hands trembling, heart pounding, not from excitement, but from the weight of 1,000 mistakes. This was me, shackled not by chains, but by habits that whispered lies of escape and numbness. For years, addiction painted my world in shadows, isolating me in a silent storm where every sunrise felt like a battle I was losing. But what if I told you that the same storm can also be a mirror, reflecting not just pain, but the possibility of change? The first obstacle, facing the truth in the reflection. It wasn't easy. The mirror showed someone broken, someone who'd burned bridges and lost trust. I had to confront the wreckage of my own making. It's like standing in a cracked, fogged-up mirror, your reflection fragmented, unclear. I learned to breathe through the discomfort, to look past the distortion and see the ember of hope beneath the ash. My strategy was unconventional. Instead of fighting the cravings with sheer willpower, I treated them like waves in a stormy sea. I didn't try to stop the waves, I learned to surf them. When urges hit, I acknowledged them without judgment, naming the emotions, loneliness, fear, pain, that fueled them. I wrote these feelings down, transforming chaos into a map. This act of naming gave me power over the invisible chains. Next, I built a new environment, physical and emotional. I replaced old triggers with anchors, a morning walk that became a ritual of grounding, a worn notebook where I sketched my journey, and most importantly, I reached out. I found others who'd been lost in similar storms. Together, we created a lighthouse, a beacon cutting through the fog. This community became my compass, reminding me that while the journey is mine, I'm not alone. Transformation didn't happen overnight. It was a mosaic made of tiny victories and setbacks. Every time I stumbled, I learned to pause and ask, what is this moment teaching me? This shift from punishment to curiosity changed everything. Instead of hiding from my failures, I turned toward them, like a gardener tending bruised plants, nurturing growth through compassion. Today, I stand not as a symbol of perfection, but as a testament to resilience. I help others navigate their own storms, not by giving them a map, but by teaching them to read the signs within themselves. Healing isn't a destination, it's a skill, cultivated through patience, honesty, and connection. If you're watching this and feeling lost, here are 3 steps you can take right now. First, name what you're feeling. Don't bury it. Write it down or speak it aloud. Second, find one small ritual that grounds you, a walk, a breath, a moment of stillness, and make it yours. Third, reach out. Find someone, anyone, who will listen without judgment. Remember, the storm inside you is fierce, but so is your capacity to weather it. Your journey might be messy and slow, but every step forward is a crack in the darkness, letting light in. The mirror will become clearer. You'll see not just the scars, but the strength etched beneath them. And when you do, you'll discover that the storm, once your prison, has become your path to freedom. Let me take you deeper into this journey, the layers beneath the surface that many overlook. Addiction is more than just a habit or a bad choice. It's a complex interplay of pain, biology, and environment. It weaves itself into the fabric of your identity until you hardly recognize who you are without it. For me, it was a way to silence the noise, to dull the ache that lingered from childhood wounds and unmet needs. But silence came at a cost: alienation, lost opportunities, and a fractured self. Recovery began with small steps, often invisible to the outside world, but monumental to me. I started by reclaiming my mornings, not with grand resolutions, but with gentle routines that whispered safety and normalcy. Making my bed, brewing tea, stepping outside to feel the air on my skin. These acts were anchors in a sea of uncertainty. They reminded me that I could choose presence over numbness. I also learned the power of storytelling, not just sharing my struggles, but rewriting the narrative I told myself. Instead of the addict who's weak and broken, I began to see the survivor, the fighter, the learner. This shift wasn't about denial. It was about embracing complexity, acknowledging that my past mistakes did not define my future. I journaled extensively, not only about setbacks, but about gratitude, hope, and moments of joy, however small. Connection was a revelation. Isolation had been my prison, but reaching out became my lifeline. I joined support groups where vulnerability was met with understanding, not judgment. Listening to others' stories, I found echoes of my own pain and sparks of resilience I hadn't known I possessed. These relationships taught me empathy, accountability, and the profound truth that healing often happens in community. Mindfulness became another tool in my arsenal. Learning to sit with discomfort without fleeing was transformative. I practiced meditation, focusing on breath and body sensations. When cravings arose, instead of reacting impulsively, I observed them like clouds passing in the sky, temporary and ever-changing. This practice built a space between impulse and action, allowing me to choose differently. Physical health also played a crucial role. Addiction had taken a toll on my body, and nurturing it back to vitality was an act of self-love. I incorporated gentle exercise, nutritious food, and sufficient rest. These changes reinforced my commitment to life and well-being. Relapse was part of the story too, though it felt like a step backward each time. But I learned to see relapse not as failure, but as feedback, signaling unmet needs or unresolved emotions. Each time, I returned to my practices with renewed insight, adjusting my approach and deepening my self-compassion. I also explored therapy, which provided a safe space to unpack trauma and develop coping skills. Working with a compassionate professional helped me understand the roots of my addiction and equipped me with tools to navigate triggers and emotional turbulence. Over time, my identity shifted from addict to advocate. I began sharing my journey publicly, hoping to dismantle stigma and inspire others. This vulnerability was daunting but empowering, transforming shame into purpose. Today, I wake with intention, aware of the storm within, but no longer controlled by it. I cherish the clarity that comes with sobriety, the ability to feel deeply, to connect authentically, and to dream freely. The mirror, once fogged and fractured, now reflects a mosaic of strength, resilience, and hope. If you find yourself in this storm, remember, healing is not linear. It's a dance of progress and setbacks, light and shadow. Be gentle with yourself. Celebrate the small victories, each one a beacon in the fog. Build your anchors, reach out for support, and cultivate curiosity about your inner world. And above all, know this, you are not alone. The storm inside you is fierce, yes, but within you lies a fierce courage to endure, to transform, and to thrive. Let that courage guide you to your own path of freedom.